So, guys, you need to be very careful of this. A lot of information, guys, is on the internet, or rather social media, as we speak in regards to the election. This is going to be a short video, but I have noticed in the last, I don't know, week that there has been a lot of back and forth about who's winning a race, who's taking what state, who's doing well popular-wise, and who's doing well overall. And it keeps going back and forth. So at some point, people are going to realize, I mean, I would hope sooner than later, but people are going to realize that somebody's lying, the left or the right. Now, obviously, if you're left-leaning, you're going to say the right's lying. And obviously, if you're right-leaning, you're going to say the left is lying. But I have people who send me middle ground reports, and you're hearing all of these things about Trump taking this state or Kamala Harris taking that state, and how these swing states are important, and he's up in 4 of them, and how she's up in all of them. That's an impossibility, right? Right there in itself is an impossibility. So there's a lot of back and forth as to who's winning and who's not. And my concern is that they're giving people hope, and giving people hope to the point that if Trump loses or Kamala Harris loses, people are going to be upset on both sides. And to the point where they start lashing out in a violent manner, whatever manner that might be. So we have to stay focused, guys, on what's going on as far as being lied to, because what I'm not doing is sitting here and getting my hopes up that Trump's going to win. I'm just not. And the simple fact that I think the Democratic Party is absolutely going to pull some nonsense, I'm not going to be surprised if they do. So I'm not going to sit there and be upset, cry, do these Instagram videos or TikTok videos crying about how much they hate Kamala Harris, or vice versa, how much they hate Trump, and that they're going to leave the country and all this other craziness. Nobody's leaving the country. If Trump wins, not a single celebrity is going to leave the country. Not a single Republican is going to leave the country if Kamala Harris wins. And I haven't heard any Republicans or celebrities of that manner lashing out saying they're going to leave if Kamala Harris takes office. We all know that if she takes office, we're in deep shit. Because something was brought to my attention and I wasn't paying attention to it. But the fact that a lot of world leaders do not respect female leaders. Period. And so Kamala Harris, who's already an idiot, Kamala Harris, who has no respect in the international community, Kamala Harris didn't even have the respect of politicians in America. And somehow they think having her become the world leader is going to gain the respect of the world. Bad enough, guys, a lot of countries know her word salad nonsense. They know how she is with jibber jabber, pretty much. And that's what she's doing every time she talks. So now she becomes the world leader, and all of a sudden the world is going to stop and respect her. And I can guarantee you that we're going to see media coverage on how these leaders look at her in a respectful manner. Meanwhile, they're probably not going to interview any of these leaders. They're just going to throw those articles out there so people like myself would shut up and be like, no, 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 they respect her. She'll be okay. No, they won't. They already, listen, most countries that have male leaders, those male leaders don't respect women in their ranks as is. So now you mean to tell me you're going to throw a female as the president of the United States and she's going to gain their respect? That is not happening. And not with an idiot like Kamala Harris. Maybe with Hillary Clinton, who, though, yes, she has her shitty and shady background, she still demands some kind of respect because she has balls to do shit a lot of people wouldn't do. And I have to give her that respect in that regard. But Kamala Harris, who couldn't even solve the border crisis issue, is now all of a sudden going to get the red carpet rolled out for her, and these world leaders are going to be like, oh my God, you're the greatest? Not going to happen. We are going to lose so much respect with Kamala Harris in office. It's going to be out of control. They're going to walk all over the United States and then moonwalk over us if she's in power. That's exactly what's going to happen. But people seem to think that it's not, and so the media is going to turn around with their misinformation and or disinformation nonsense. And the whole point to this video is beware of the misinformation and disinformation you get from both sides. especially the left, because the left has been really going into overtime about making sure Trump is damaged in the polls with that nonsense that came out about Trump wanting Liz Cheney offed or executed. Meanwhile, he said put a rifle in her hand and put her in front of 9 rifles and see how she responds, because she's a warmonger, or I think he called her a war hawk. Right? So again, these things, guys, are what the left is doing because they are super desperate. And if you're doing tactics like this, if you are lying and you are definitely, I would say, disinformationing people by taking a statement he says, leaving out one part, only giving you part of what he said, and then going, look, he wants Liz Cheney to die. That's called disinformation. That's called lying. And when people pick tactics like that in the political realm, that means they're desperate because they see something that they're not telling the rest of the public and they're not telling the left, that she could possibly lose. Because this is a desperate tactic. If she was going to win by a landslide, they would need none of these tactics to win. Just keep that in the back of your head. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.